Hello guys and welcome to another video, and this time around I wanted to show you my Sixx deck that I used to climb the ladder. I'm actually in top 10, and so this deck carried me a lot through the season. I have a 70% win rate, more or less. I had an higher result in the earliest season, but then meta shifted a bit, and so did my win rate. Also, I still lack Deliverance, which I think is a great card for this deck, and Deliverance probably uh, hampers my win rate by at least a 5%, I do think, because it's a so strong card that can save you in many situations, and when I have a mirror match I feel the lack of it a lot. But let's go into the deck itself. So why Sixx? This is the most important question, and I do think that this Warlord is actually really interesting. Why? This build focuses on Training Cage. Training Cage basically bolster your hand by a +1/+1. Sixx itself starts with an extra card, and this makes the cage more effective. Also, it can boost his health and the health of his units by 2 for 1 energy. And this can have two main purposes. One is to not die, since he can bolster himself. That means that um, he is hardly gonna die to Perturabo, because he can continuously gain 2 health, 2 health, 2 health every turn, and this brings him to have like plus 15 health, 16, 20 health at the end of the game. But the most important thing about this ability is that it can bolster your troops and actually make them very hard to remove. And you have a lot of troops that have sneak attack, and sneak attack and 4, 5, 6 health become really obnoxious to deal with. So let's go into the spell component. Command bridge let us fetch with for everything we need, and also let us if we draw command bridge and training cage, we can actually ditch the training cage because we are sure to get it, and actually have one extra troop to bolster in the starting end. We have forbidden protocols. Since we play a lot of vehicles, this can be really useful, and actually won me quite a lot of games, especially if you can get bloodthirst. It can be incredibly hard to deal with bikes and with speeders. Then we have training cage. This makes our bikes and our fast troops incredibly scary and strong. And last is a guerrilla warfare, gives card draw clearing. I do think that Deliverance is way better in this spot, but I do not have it, so I think that guerrilla warfare is fine. Then let's come to the troops. Phasidian infantry is basically a drop one a 1/1 and draw a card when this dies. Optimal turn 1 play is bolster your health, play a Phasidian infantry. Turn 2 you smack this, you draw a card, and you play training cage in order to bolster your hand by a further amount. So you have 2 extra cards in hand because of Phasidian and Sixx ability. Then we have Solaro bikes, really strong card. Can give it first. It's a 2/2 that can become a 2/4 with sneak attack, but most importantly it has fast, while scimitar jet bikes have flank. and this means that this can go face immediately. This is the bike you need to save for the late game, unless you really need to remove threats from the board. I would recommend to keep it because it goes in combo with Morado squad pretty nicely. Then we have Secretary Axiarch. This card is amazing. I did not regret putting it in the deck. It's really strong and survivable, and also bolster our damage from Jubak, P Alpha, and Goldstone Hunters. Then we have Melgator, gives us tempo and is an incredibly strong card, and I think that in this deck it shines, not particularly, but it's really good. Scimitar Jet Bikes is amazing, and this can become a 4/4 with sneak attack and flank the turn it comes in at 4 energy, which is amazing. And if this stays a turn and gets buffed by Forbidden Protocols, the game is basically over. Torvik Squad is a card I think it's amazing, really strong, and if you can buff it with Training Cage, now you have a 3/5 for 3, and on turn 4 you can play a 3/7 fast, unstoppable. This card is amazing. Also, like Solaro Bikes, unless you have certain matchups in which you need this to trade, you can save it for the late game and smack the opponent's face. We have Zubak, gives us resources, and it's a threat that your opponent needs to remove. I do think it's pretty good in this. Also, with 1 cage and 6 ability, it becomes a 3/6, so it's really hard to remove. Goldstone Hunters. I did not have these in the initial version of the deck, but I think that Goldstones are really good and can push up a little bit of damage in the late game, especially if you play with Secretary Axiarch. Pi Alpha is a card that it is the last card I changed in the deck. Before I had the 4/5, the Joker squad, the 4/5 that deals 3 to stealth enemies. Then the Korax kind of slowed down a bit, and they got played less. So I figured, hey, why not be a little bit stronger against the Alpha Legion and also all the World Eaters that are around. This plus your Warlord ability for 4 energy can give you 5 health and a 2/2. I think it's really strong. Also, they do not always expect a remove stun from a Raven Guard deck. I do think that this is a pretty cool deck. Apothecary Coleman, I mean, it's amazing, it's really strong, but the fact that the enemy always has Melgator when I play this really pisses me off. But it's a card that you cannot play really this deck without this card, because this dropped in the late game, you can drop a bunch of fast guys and draw a shit ton of cards against like Angron or other World Eaters. This can simply do game by itself if it stays a couple of turns, and you can bolster his health. Then we have Javelin Speeder, 2 of, never leave home without it. It's incredibly good, really fast. 4 health is pretty bulky and actually can be improved further by 6. The fact that it also reveals all enemies makes this card incredibly strong. Morado Squad is our late game and our way to kill the opponent. On 10 energy we can drop Moradus, deal 2. We can drop Torvik Squad and deal another 3. Then we can drop Solaro Bikes and deal another 3 and attack with our Warlord. And so we can deal up to 11 damage obviously if you did not buff your card with Training Cage. I do think that Morado squad though is incredibly good. Also 5-3 is kinda hard for the enemy to deal with. Skitari Protector is another card that I had since the start. I did not regret it one time. I think that this card is good, and also the stealth 8 can be proved very handy in certain situations. Dravian Clade is a big butt that also uh, can make the life of Canis incredibly hard, and lets you trade better with vehicles. I like this card, I think it's pretty good. Helios Mortar Carrier, I'm not 100% convinced by Helios Mortar Carrier, because 90% of the times it deals 3 and then dies or gets Melgatored. But in the late game it's really strong, so I still have this in the deck. If new 6 energy vehicles come out, um, I could consider swapping this out. Doombringer is amazing in this type of deck. Can help you deal more damage, clear the board, you can bolster his health. It's an amazing target for protocols. uh, really good card. So let's see some games as always. So the last games I did were with Exodus, but I do think that I had a loss streak today, incredible loss streak. So this against Karn, and then I saved 3 interesting games uh, from earlier. Let's see against Karn. This was from today, I guess. I dropped this Skitari Protector because I want something to come down earlier, and also Draevian is not useful in this matchup. Okay, Speeder is not awful. Moradus is at this point in the game, it's not that good. This deck can sometimes lack a bit in consistency, especially if you do not draw the bikes, which are the most important cards in the deck, because they are the thing that if they are buffed, make you snowball really hard. Now we drop Jubak, we create a target for him. This is really strong. And this is really annoying. I think that now he attacks it. I think. Yes. Of course he pings so he does not waste the counter attack. He stealth this guy, and now I have no way actually of killing it. So I play Torvik squad, and I think I bolster it myself. I could also bolster the Torvik squad, but health in the car matchup is really important, so I think that 2 more health actually could be pretty useful. And this is really scary now, but I have a way of clearing it, no problem, so who cares. Now this is also pretty unfortunate, so I'm going at least to 10, and now I have to deal with this, and I could deal it with Moradus, and I think yes that I do it. This way I do not waste a speeder on it, and I actually keep a 5-3 on the board. This is incredibly scary as then he kills the Moradus. Pretty unfortunate. Now I hopefully can heal something with the Skitari Protector plus my ability. I think that I heal myself. Yes, because now if he plays a Mortar Strike and gets lucky, it cannot kill me. On the spot at least. And also taking 4, it's really annoying for him. But he has tons of heal, so... But now this becomes really scary. Because this plus this is 6 damage. And plus this is 7, so... But we could also out-attack, no problem. And boink. This was a pretty close game, by the way. I do think that if he drew better, maybe he could have got this. I did not draw particularly well. Then let's see against Vulcan. This game, I think I snowballed incredibly hard, if I reckon correctly. Oh, training cage plus scimitar is nice. Now, before you saw a game in which, I mean, was not an okay game. You would grab the protocols because we already have the cage. We played an okay game, but really there is nothing. We drew nothing that fancy. No jet bikes, no bikes at all. And versus Khan, those are really helpful. Now we can see maybe a bit of a different game. Now, training cage, we can bolster 2 bikes and a tour bike squad. Also Secretary Axiarch buffed, it's really annoying, so why not? Drop the Phasadian, and I think that I dropped the bike. Why this and not this? Actually, if he kills the 3-3, I do not care that much, but if he kills the 5-3, in this matchup, this is more valuable than the Solaro bikes, I think. Because Vulcan does not have that many ways of deal with the scimitar jet bikes, beside the destroy damage troop thing. Double Axiarch is incredible right now. But we play one Axiarch and actually go for the Turbike squad in order to smack. And now we are pushing a lot of damage. I mean, next turn they are 8. Only from this. And we can drop Jetbike and Forbidden Protocols at the same time. To take care of this fucking Dreadnought. It's really strong. Let's go. Bike. Bolster the bike. So this now is a 5-5. Kills this outright, and then the Axiarch I think clears. No, I think I cleared with the Turbike squad. I push more damage, and if he has the board clear, yes, he does. This was actually a better play. Unfortunate that I lost both Axiarch and also the bike. Now I can make this really beefy, but 8 energy is a really sweet spot for him. So let's see what are we going to do. Play the speeder. I think that I play also the jet bikes. Or no, maybe not. Now I heal and smack it. Cause I could have played scimitar, but now this is the only way I can basically get out of this. Now Doombringer and auto attack of Coleman clears this, and the Doombringer for him is kind of hard to deal with right now. He drops Desperate Defenses, and this is incredibly annoying. This is a low roll, but this really strong. Now we drop the jet bike, and let's go with the protocols. Six 3 with ward, nice. Now we can kill the fire drake, I think. Fire drake, yes. With this, I don't want to bash with Coleman and actually lose this, because this, if he takes care of the jet bike, gives me draw, and also he cannot ignore the jet bike. And now he's dead, I think. Double Moradus plus 7, 10, 15 damage on the board. And let's see. This one against Fail. Fail is a very annoying matchup and can go either way, but you are. I still played Ordinary Squad in this version of the deck. It's not that good. Fail can be incredibly annoying, and actually you need to push for damage and forget about every other plan, because you have no chance otherwise. Now he has asteroids on turn 1, and this is annoying. We can fetch for another cage or protocols. We got the protocols. Now we can cage and double Axiarch or Axiarch plus our hero power. But it desolated too. This is really annoying. I dislike Fail a lot, honestly. Now we can stay here doing nothing, so we drop the Axiarch. Actually, we could have bashed, but I was so far behind that I did not think that was a great idea. Now we can Melgator the Duke Mortecher and buff our Axiarch, or actually attack for 4. But buffing it is actually fine. And also if we play Axiarch again, we can clear the Mortecher, so... But now he's also flanking, so it's not that nice. Yeah, 3 energy behind. There is actually not that much we can do. Now, since we have no way of getting out, I simply stun him and take a turn for building up a bigger board. But this game is really going very badly. Now he has a fast Hydra. Man, I do think that this was not that necessary, but whatever. Now we can drop the Felician. I dropped this card because I think that it's too much of a gamble. Sometimes it works and it's great, and sometimes it's just bad. Joker squad is 5 to this, but if he attacks with Lernia Hydra, I still am able to kill this. Also, right now it's not worth to protocol it. So we play the Solaro bikes and actually protocol. Let's see what we get. Core mark is not bad. We can make it a 6/6, deal with Mortaker and destroy the Hydra. Now we have a really bad hand, but Coleman could actually climb us back into the game, allowing us to draw. Chicken is really bad. Yeah, that's not good. Also, we cannot play Doombringer because of fucking desolated ground, so we can simply drop shit on the board and actually make him hard to trade. If he wants to trade, of course. It's not this was a pretty long game, if I reckon correctly. We almost got into fatigue, and now he has also generated goldstone and bashed me for 8. Yeah, that's really annoying overall. Speeder though, it's really nice. Also we can kill the chicken. I don't know if I do this. I do not. I do not, cause he played one defense, and actually if he wants to keep this and keep hampering his curve, I'm fine. Now he kills it, of course. Mortar carrier is annoying, but I mean we could drop double fatties, so also jet bike is good. I decided to drop Doombringer in order to kill the Kaizu lane. Also, if this attacks, this is gonna kill automatically in the next turn. And he plays the Auxilia Lemarras, which I did not know was a thing. if I remember correctly, I stole one of his Auxilia with Chewbacca. Now we can drop the front line and drop the jet bike and kill this and bolster the health of the jet bike. Now this is a good position to be in, though this needs to survive, and actually it doesn't, because Kaizu Lane is a really good card. And drops the another mortar. And now I'm at 10, but I can drop Coleman plus Javelin Speeder and actually have 1 health to gain 2, or actually bolster one of my troops. Also, bolstering this I do not think was a bad idea. This is annoying, because now we can give all of these flank. But at least I'm gonna draw a card because of Coleman, so it's nice. Also pretty lucky roll on his side. I always uh, um, take a much worse result. Also, I basically cleared all of his board, and I drew a Doombringer that I can play and bolster. And a 7 health Doombringer is pretty hard to deal with, although he has flank on everything, so Hydra is not nice. Now I could guerrilla warfare or Morado squad. I do think that dropping both of these is better, and actually I can bolster this of my face and gain some health back. These are a good threat to deal with, so this is incredibly annoying. I don't know why. Maybe they were created, yes. Otherwise, I don't know why you should play two of these. We got Jubak, we played it, and Guerrilla Warfare, hoping to hit for 3 and we did it. The other bike is nice, but right now he has flank on everything, so doesn't really matter that much. This is nice though. We also are almost to fatigue. This game was incredible and really funny. We have training cage. Actually, we can. I did this because this kills automatically his troop. Also buffing this able to kill the Hydra is not bad. It's a shame I still did not find a way to play Clade, and because this would be really good now on the field. Now between the three I decided to put out the biggest guy and actually bolster it. No, I bolstered myself because of the Rhine squad. Because this deals 5. Scary. And now he kills this with both of his stuff. But now I finally am able to get a proper turn and drop a few things on the board. So I drop the mortar carrier and the Ordari squad. And at this point I deal 7 to him if I attack, or 5 if I do not. And he's now in danger of dying, so this obviously helps, but still 3 plus 2 is 5. If I draw 2 damage he's dead. Actually I could have attacked him because the 3 damage could have gone there or could have gone in his face, and actually if they went to his face I won the spot, so I was dumb in doing this. But anyway, he can deal 2 to me and then I attack and he's dead. And look at the amount of health I gained during this game. I healed 12. It's really strong, even if you heal yourself. Okay, let's see if there is one more game, but today was not a great day to climb. This against Lucretia. I played against some Lucretia, and if they have an incredible luck I can do nothing about it. If they have an okay hand and I have a good hand, I completely stomped them, so yeah. I do think that maybe 3 games are enough, and I do not have that much of a sample at the moment, because I'm trying to push for top 10. I stayed in top 10 actually for a lot of time using Sixx, but now the meta changed, and I do not think that it's not the meta he wants to be in. Actually, World Eaters without deliverance or hurt a lot more, and you can't really do much against Alpha Legion, which is by far one of the worst matchups, especially Exodus. Alpharius is fine, yeah, but Exodus is really hard to deal with, and actually I do think that this this Warlord is really cool, and I wanted to make um, this video because it's the first time I feature, I think, a rare Warlord, and this can actually be a good place to start maybe if you're a new player. I mean, really the most important cards here um, are not legendaries. I mean, Forbidden Protocols it is, but also Coleman, but the rest is more or less replaceable, I think. This could be a really interesting deck to bring on the ladder, and um, some players actually asked me the deck I gave them, and uh, they had some success with it. So I think that there is something here, and also you could probably improve this. Um, but this is what I've come up with at the end. I do think also that Edict of Censor would be really good in this deck, but I do not own it, so that's it. Also, Malkial could fit really nice. Okay, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time.